In this video, we're going to look at how we would work our way back to the original amount of money invested if we're given the final amount, the interest rate, and the amount of time that the money is invested for. So we'll look at our example here. The sum of money invested at compound interest amounts to €12,597.12 at 8% per annum for 3 years. Calculate the sum invested. Right, we'll do this the long way first. So we're going to work our way backwards step by step. If it's done for 3 years and that's our amount at the end, that means our A3 amount at the end of the third year is equal to $12,597.12. Well, that would mean that is 108% of the amount at the start of year 3. So 12,597.12. So then we've just got to work our way down to 1% by dividing both sides by 108, and that's going to be 116.64. And then we work our way up to 100%. And that's going to be 11,664. So that is our amount at the start of year 3, which means it was our amount at the end of year 2. So our A2 is 11,664. And that is 108% of the amount at the start of year 2. So if we work our way down to 1% by dividing both sides by 108, we get 108. And if we go down and multiply both sides by 100, we get 10,800. And that is the amount at the start of our second year, which means it was the amount at the end of our first year, which is A1. 108. There we go. Which means that is 108% of the amount that we started with at the start of year 1. If we take that down to 1% by dividing both sides by 108, we get 100. And if we multiply by 100 on both sides, we get up to 100%, which is going to be 10,000. And the 10,000 is the amount of money that we had at the start of year 1, which means it's how much money we started with. So that's the long way of doing this. And the reason that we have to know how to do this the long way is there will be questions where we're asked to do this where the rates change. So in this particular example, it was 8% every single year. But if the rate were different each year, it wouldn't be 108 each time. It would be whatever the rate is plus 100. So that's why we do this the long way. The short way for doing this is we use the compound interest formula, which is F equals P times 1 plus I to the T. Well, we know the final amount. The final amount is 12,597.12. We don't know P, that's what we're trying to find, it's our principal amount. But we do know I is 0.08 because it's 8%, so we're going to have 1.08 in here. And it's going to be to the power of 3 because it was ran for 3 years. And if we just do a bit of algebra in this case, we're going to have P is equal to 12,597.12 divided by 1.08 to the power of 3. And if we stick that in the calculator, we will get 10,000 back. So one way or the other we get to the right answer, but the long way is used if we have rate changes, and the short way is used if we have the same rate all the way through.